Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
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 Hi, Uncle Sonny.
Greetings, Den of Honors.
Hey guys.
What's up, Den of Honors?
My name is James B. Ellison Jr.
I am Dr. Walter W. Reed, class of 1981, and cousin of Don Clendenin.
This is Carl Bell, and it is my pleasure to talk to you about someone I respect well, Michael Manley.
My name is Oscar Daniel. I played basketball at Morehouse, and I graduated in 1975. I was one of McAfee's boys.
My name is Gwendolyn McAfee Bynum, the oldest daughter of Arthur James McAfee Jr.
My name is Xavier Brewer. I'm a Morehouse man, class of 2022 to be exact, and the middle son of the late, great Coach Grady Brewer.
My name is Ernest Glover. I played for the Maroon Tigers from 1982-83 to 1984-85.
I'm Cheryl McAfee. I'm the oldest niece of Arthur James McAfee Jr.
My name is Jonathan Tyson, class of 2013.
This is Jordan Brewer, the youngest son of the great Grady Brewer.
I am Joy Michelle Silver, the oldest grandchild of Arthur J. McAfee Jr.
Mike Scott, Morehouse class of 2016.
Dr. Ellison grew up on Lee Street. He entered Morehouse College, where he majored in biology, and also where he met his mentor, Dr. Franklin L. Forbes, who was the basketball coach, athletic director, and chairman of the Health and Physical Education Department.
Don Alvin Clendenin, class of 1956, was an exceptional athlete and only the second to earn 12 varsity letters across football, baseball, and basketball.
My dad loved Morehouse College. My dad loved historically black colleges and universities. And one of the legacies that he has left our family, that you had an opportunity if you attended an HBCU. Thus, my brother and my sister and myself all attended HBCUs.
Dr. Pinky Haynes, special story about Coach Haynes. He was my professor in mechanical analysis here at Morehouse College, and he was my dad's mentor in athletics.
There's no words that can describe what my dad meant to me. He was such a supportive, wise man that could give you advice in any situation, but he always held you accountable for every action that you ever took. He taught me how to be a man and just how to carry myself and follow God, and for that I'm appreciative, and I will continue to cherish his memories and all of his wise words for the rest of my life.
Michael Manley as a basketball player was phenomenal. He actually filled up all the stat lines, double-digit in scoring, assists every game, he had rebounds every game, and he had steals every game. He was who I emulated at Morehouse.
To my point guard, number 4, Fleeks Butch Hazel. You're one of the best to ever suit up for the Maroon and White Tigers. Your excellence has had an impact on the legacy of Morehouse basketball, both in the past and the present.
I first met Darius Williams in 2010. We helped bring winning ways back to Morehouse College. Before I got to Morehouse College, they had 9 straight losing seasons. When I left, we put a banner on the wall.
My brother was always not just my brother. He was my brother and my best friend. He was my leader, somebody I looked up to all along the way. And he was always working so hard to keep the name of Arthur James McAfee, because he became Arthur James McAfee with great honor and continued that all his life.
My father was drafted into the United States Army during World War II. Upon his discharge, he went to his mentor, Dr. Franklin L. Forbes, who had received his master's from the University of Michigan, and suggested that my father apply to the University of Michigan and get his PhD or his MD degree. Upon his return to Atlanta, his childhood friend and Morehouse classmate, Dr. A.M. Davis, who was serving as the Morehouse school physician at the time, gave my dad that position, and my dad held that position for over 48 years.
I met Mike Manley in 1974. In all those years, he has been a teammate, a true friend, and the kind of husband and father everybody admires. On the court, he wore Morehouse's maroon and white with pride. He was a steady scorer who averaged in double figures. He was always ready to take the big shot and lift the team.
Upon graduation, he earned offers from the Cleveland Browns and the Harlem Globetrotters, but chose baseball. After trying out for the Pittsburgh Pirates in 1957, he played for the franchise until 1968. In 1969, he joined the Miracle Mets, leading them to the World Series victory. Dunn was named Most Valuable Player of the World Series after batting .357 and hitting 3 home runs during the World Series.
So my dad played in the late 70s. I don't know if that's when VHS was out or not, but I haven't seen actual video footage of him, I would say. But, you know, when I was messing up growing up, he would tell me like what he used to do and try to give me tips and tell me how he would play different in this situation. So based off of that knowledge, I think my dad was pretty solid.
When I first met Butch Hazel in 1983, I'm looking at a guy that's close to my height and thinking he's gonna be a 4. No, he's like, I'm a guard. Playing with Butch, he was a high dribbling, hard passing, all-seeing point guard. He was so unselfish because during that time, if you were hot, he fed you, and he fed you. I was truly a team player and team effort, knowing what the team needed. So he was our floor general. And in the 2 years that I played with him, it was filled with great victories. He gave up a lot of his scoring to make sure that the team flourished.
I've been around a lot of great athletes in my life, and Darius Williams is one of the greatest athletes I've ever seen or been around. When I talk about just a pure athlete, God-gifted ability to just play sports. He was a Division II All-American in both football and basketball. His body control, his true competitive nature. He's one of the greatest competitors I've ever been around. And his ability to just go get a bucket. He was a leader. His competitive fire was genuine. And that's another thing I really admired about Darius, was that he was always authentic. He's really from the east side of Detroit. And I've been to the east side of Detroit. And it's rough over there. But one thing, he did everything in his power to make a good life for himself and to be better than what the environment around him was trying to create him to be.
As I reflect back on all of the times that I ran around the campus of Morehouse College, attending football games and basketball games and just hanging out, I am reminded of education. My grandfather was an advocate for education, and he always made sure that my brother and myself understood the value of education and the importance of graduating. And it is because of those values that I am a proud graduate of Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University.
Growing up with my dad, for me, was a bit confusing at times. I just was naturally talented, big, strong, fast. And, you know, he'd come to some of my games and I would be just killing. He will always point out the one play that I didn't, hustle back on defense, or the one play I didn't grab a rebound. I was just like, why don't you ever have anything good to say? I remember one time I got an and-one and I screamed in the dude's face, and the whole car ride back home, he was just talking about how I'm just so arrogant and how I'm not supposed to do that. And when we got home, he made me run up to him until he said stop. I was just so confused, and I was just like why? He just swears I'm just not a good basketball player or something. But he used to introduce me to his friends. They used to always say oh yeah, your dad talk about you all the time. He say y'all special. I'm like, what? There's no way. He was just trying to instill a certain type of grit inside of us so we don't get comfortable. And I thank him for that to this day.
I've been given the privilege and honor to say a few words about my good friend, my big brother, Michael Manley. Outside of just the outstanding history with Morehouse, his performance on the court, I can attest to his contributions to the community and just his foundation for Morehouse off the court. He's always been a giver. He's always showed up when we needed him. And he's been a rock for a lot of the young brothers, the Morehouse alumni, and become one of the pillars of the Morehouse family.
He made me feel like the most important and special person in the room. When I was little, he used to pull up in his beautiful Ford Thunderbird. As soon as it pulled up into the driveway, I would hide in the house. He would come through the door, and the first thing he would say is, "Where's my MESS mess?" I would come out of hiding. I'd run to him. He'd lift me up, carry me into my grandmother's dining room, and allow me to hold my hands up and touch the chandelier that hung from the ceiling. And then he would say, "Keep reaching up. One day you'll be able to touch it on your own." He wanted me, his children, his family, and all of those he taught and that he touched to be the best that they could be and to strive for excellence. And I want to tell you, I'm still reaching up.
In 1957, they moved to Hedgewood Drive. Dr. James E. Haynes, who was inducted, and Dr. Frank L. Forbes, who also was inducted, they all lived on Hedgewood Drive. We grew up, as all Ellisons did, we loved Morehouse. We attended every football and basketball game. In fact, I've probably seen more Morehouse sporting events than just about anybody that's still around.
Mike was the example of a great student, the example of a great basketball player, and the great example of being a Morehouse man.
Dad, congratulations. You know, I personally wanted to send you a message, send you your flowers. I mean, you've always been a role model to me, but the number one thing that always sticks out is just how much you care and pour into others in your community. So I'm just honored to be able to share this moment with you, to see you get the flowers you so truly and have always deserved. Bleaks, Butch Hazel, class of 2026 Morehouse Den of Honor. I still think I'm the best in the house.
Our time on the court together was a blast, man. We got after it a lot of good days, man, challenging each other, pushing each other, getting ice baths, getting cussed out by 99. But what made Darius, I would say his toughness, his versatility, his will to do better. He was All-American football and basketball. He had NBA workouts and NFL workouts. And it's someone that's always to be in my foxhole no matter what.
Uncle Sonny, so proud to see you inducted into the Den of Honor. I remember going into his office after a game in Atlanta one night, and Grady, everybody was there. It was just so impressive to be in that office and look around at all the history about me. I'll never will forget that.
I got to play for my dad my freshman and sophomore year of college before COVID hit and before he passed. And I can wholeheartedly say that those 2 years were the best 2 years of not only my basketball career, but me as a young man. And those 2 years eventually propelled me into transferring into a D1 school for grad school, and also has led to my professional basketball career now.
Off the court, he brought the same commitment home, building a family with his lovely wife, Val, showing up every day and teaching by example and loyalty what love looks like. Mike's laughter, his quiet confidence, and his willingness to help a teammate in need are the things I always remember most.
Education was very important to my father, and he felt that through basketball, he had the opportunity to give young men a chance to further their education so that beyond the basketball court, they would be able to do something in life. But what he was most proud of is the fact that over 90% of the young men who came through Morehouse College playing basketball for the Maroon Tigers received an education and graduated.
On behalf of the Ellison family, I would like to thank Athletic Director Harold Ellis and the Basketball Den of Honor Selection Committee on the induction of our father, Dr. James B. Ellison, Sr., MD, into the 2026 Basketball Den of Honor.
I just want to wish the Haynes family, Skip Haynes, everybody, welcome to the Den of Honor. Thank you, Dr. Haynes, for everything you did for Morehouse College and the athletic program.
Today, we celebrate not just the player, but the husband, the father, the friend who has stood with us for decades. Mike, thank you for every pass, point, block, shot, lesson, and every year of friendship. Well deserved, my friend.
Thank you, Daddy, for all that you did for those young men. And thank you for loving Morehouse the way that you did.
We need some tape, man. If you have any type of tape of my dad playing, I would love to see it. That would make my entire year.
Welcome to the Morehouse Den of Honor.
Congratulations.
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 Congrats, Butch.
Congratulations, Uncle Sonny.
4 to 44 forever.
Congratulations on being inducted to the 2026 Morehouse Den of Honor.